YouTube's making a change to how they count views on the platform.
Moving to an exposure-based model for views across all formats, meaning a view will now be counted the moment a video begins to play from the very first frame. Hello Insiders, I'm Rene Ritchie, a longtime creator now working at YouTube, and here's what's up. Last year, YouTube moved to an exposure-based model for Shorts views. This year, starting August 24, YouTube will be expanding that model to long form, podcasts, live streams, all formats. YouTube is doing this to ensure consistency across the platform, to make sure every moment of connection between creator and audience is captured, and so that there's no confusion or fragmentation about what a view actually means.
So the reason this is different to how it used to be is that before, a video would have to actually be an engaged watch in order to count as a view. So maybe a YouTube viewer is watching for at least, 4 seconds. Like, it can't just be like they clicked on the video and immediately clicked off. They have to have clicked on it and have actually at least seen a tiny bit of the video before it would count as a view. What YouTube is going to do now is, as soon as a video is clicked on, and even just one frame, as he said, plays, that's a view. I'm going to let him keep going, but the reason I think this is really interesting, one, I get why they're doing it. They changed Shorts to reflect that last year, because with Shorts, it used to be the same thing where I think it was at least 1 second had to be watched for it to count as a view, especially on short form where you're just scrolling, right? So if you don't actually stop for a second and look at it, it wouldn't count as a view. But then they switched it so that if it comes up on the feed at all, regardless of if you looked at it or not, it will count as a view. And I think they did that because that's what TikTok was doing, and that's what Instagram Reels was doing. And so they're like, okay, we're going to do that as well. A part of me also wonders if they're doing it because it makes it look like they're getting more viewers. They can say, oh, look, we got 20 billion Shorts views, when like maybe 10 billion of those were just people like scrolling and not even looking. Potentially. I don't know for sure. But this is going to be really interesting to do for long form videos, because it's going to like massively inflate view counts. I think he said, what was it, like the 27th of August? I can't remember what the date was in particular. Is it written here? 24th of August. I don't know if it's going to apply retroactively. So it might not be that old videos are suddenly going to get huge view counts. But I think that from now on, like, it's going to look like videos are getting way more views than they're actually getting. And I'm super curious to see how that's going to impact things. I don't think it's going to impact things algorithmically, really, because, it's still about watch time. Views hasn't been the thing that matters since like 2013, right? So it's always been about watch time. But I don't know, like maybe if you're a YouTube creator and you're used to getting like 20, 30k views per video, it's suddenly gonna say like 50 or 60k, and you're gonna think that your views have doubled or tripled, but really nothing's happened. So I think that's really interesting.
Creators can use this updated, standardized count to better understand views across formats and to better communicate the full scale of audience impact to brand partners and sponsors. And viewers will know when they see a view count, it's all based on the same model from that first frame. All new videos uploaded after the changes on August 24, 2026 will show the updated first frame view count. All videos uploaded prior to the change will keep their existing view count up until the change. Historical view totals will not be updated retroactively, but following the change, new views on those videos will follow the updated first.
Okay, so what I imagine will happen is, after the 24th of August, YouTubers are gonna see like a massive bump in what their like daily views looks like. And what I'll do is, let's say about a week after this, let's say the 31st of August, I'll show you guys my chart and we can see if that actually happened, if there was just a big bump in terms of daily views, because that would be interesting. What I imagine is going to happen is that a lot of people are going to click on YouTube Studio one day, see that they're getting a lot of views and feel really happy, and then wonder why nothing's actually changed. Like, they're getting so many more views, but they're not getting more comments, they're not making more money, they're not getting more subscribers. I think they're going to be a bit confused about that. because most people don't pay attention to these updates. So YouTube's probably going to have to do a lot of like repeated explaining about it, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Frame count. To compare performance more consistently before and after the change, creators can use the engaged views metric in YouTube Studio. An engaged view means the viewer stayed to watch past the first frame and initial seconds. It's how all views were counted historically, which is why they're useful for historical comparisons. Engaged views will also remain the view metric used to qualify for Shorts, ad, and premium revenue sharing in the YouTube Partner Program and for monetization and revenue calculation across all videos. And yes, I totally understand some of this can sound complicated, but if you're already familiar with how Shorts views work today, then you're already familiar with how all views will be working after August 24. But if these new views are all new to you, we'll all be here to help. So let me know your thoughts and questions in the comments and keep it real.
It's pretty fair, pretty easy to understand. I'm just anticipating a wave of people wondering why there's something getting way more views. Alex Webb saying, will the view counts not just be artificially inflated now? Like, we only get paid for engaged views, so it isn't something that really benefits creators. Yeah, no, exactly, Alex. Like, it's mostly, I feel like it's mostly going to be an ego thing. Like, look how many views I got, but really nothing changed. They say the reason they're doing it is to make it consistent with how Shorts views are counted, which I can understand, but I also don't think it's necessary because we already know that Shorts views are inflated anyway. You know, like when you see a YouTuber and they have like, you know, 50 million views on a video and then you see that it's a YouTube short, it is kind of like, oh, it's a YouTube short. Like, I think I have like 20 million views on my, like, on one of my YouTube shorts, but I'm not more proud of that than I am of like a YouTube video that got 1 million views, but it's a proper video. You know what I mean? Because it's shorts. You just kind of know that it's going to be inflated. But I suppose they just want to be able to say, this is how views are counted on YouTube without having to like give caveats for the type of video it is. So I get what they're doing, but you know, it's not necessarily anything that's going to help out creators. I think it's so they can tell brands their ads are reaching more people. Honestly, I think that might be a reason why as well. Like, I do genuinely think they might also want to be able to say, look how many views YouTube is getting. I feel like there's going to be a huge resurgence in clickbait, says Yusuf Ali. I don't know if that would... Okay, here's the thing, right? It might lead to a resurgence in clickbait from people who think that as long as they get the view, it matters. But the YouTube recommendation algorithm is still based on watch time. So if a bunch of people don't actually watch the video, it's still not gonna get recommended. So it doesn't really matter if people start doing like really egregious clickbait. It's still gonna be the same thing.